the finale, the last webinar of the series. We have been holding these webinars since November. So thanks for those who have joined us since then or have joined us at previous webinars. Today's focus will be looking at some activities that are taking place at the International AIDS Conference that may be of interest for Latinos and folks who are interested in working in our community as well. And so I wanted to just kind of show over quickly the webinar overview. And so we'll go over some of the elements of briefly over the Community Research Forum. Also as well, we'll be looking at some of the activities in the networking zone, highlighting Nuestra Guía, which will be a guidebook available for folks that will highlight some of the activities that I'm mentioning today and many, many more that I'm not mentioning. And then we'll go into some Q&A if folks have questions, being that this is our last webinar. It's a good opportunity to ask questions, and again, the questions and the answers come from both the participants. So if folks have questions, if folks want to answer questions, feel free to *7 to unmute yourself at that time. And so this is the reason for muting everyone is just to make sure we minimize background noise. But throughout the webinar, feel free to unmute yourself. Again, *7 to ask questions or add comments. Before I get started, I just wanted to check and see who has joined us for previous webinars. And so if you could just indicate if you've attended a previous AIDS 2012 Brown Bag webinar series. Okay, we're getting some responses. All right. So it looks like we have folks who joined for a handful of the webinars. That's great. We had someone who's joined us for 6 of them, so that's pretty amazing. I've been part of 8. So I want to move forward, get started. All the webinars are featured here on the website, NLAAN.org/AIDS2012. Similar to this one, we recorded all of them, and they're all posted. And so if you are coming to the conference and want to kind of just sit on some of these webinars, feel free to view them. You'll hear the recording and the webinar slide as the presenter is talking about the presentation. So it's pretty nice to see all that. It's all on one side. We'll go to NLAAN.org/AIDS2012. And this is kind of a screenshot of the image. And again, the website is on top. I just want to make a mention again, I've mentioned this in previous webinars, we will be having bloggers coming to the International AIDS Conference. We're really excited about that, making sure Latinos are getting information from our peers in a timely manner. And so we have over 20 bloggers who are going to be addressing and attending sessions from the various tracks of the International AIDS Conference. And so be on the lookout for blogs from these individuals. Here's a list of some of the bloggers. And as you see, we have folks from all over the country. We have folks from Puerto Rico, New Mexico, Texas, California, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Utah, Illinois, Washington. We also have folks who will be joining us from Missouri, New York, Florida, North Carolina, Mississippi. So we have a good representation from across the country, both communities that have traditionally had Latino representation and then communities where we have emerging Latinos. And so I hope that's going to provide some good perspectives here at the conference. And the website blog is identified on the screen as well, NLAAN.org/AIDS2012 blog. And so if you go there today, you will see the first set of blogs that are basically introductory blogs introducing themselves and who they are. So make sure you check out the blogs. And this is, again, just purposes of letting people know who they are. We have their short little bios and pictures. And so the first thing I wanted to mention, and I'm not going to go into great detail, but we are hosting a research forum. Well, oftentimes it has different names, a pre-conference, affiliated event. And so this is an activity that's happening on Sunday. It's free, open to the public. RSVP is required. There's a capacity of 300, and we're very close to that. So if you haven't yet registered for this forum, make sure you do so. And the forum agenda is available on the website. And so feel free to check it out. If you go to, again, the website's located there. The forum agenda is on there. We'll have some key speakers from around the country who are doing research around HIV, as well as service providers and clinicians. And so, again, the website to register, I believe we'll be closing it on the next couple of days, so make sure you do that today. For folks who are on the webinar who are part of the Embajadores program, you have automatically been registered because you'll be helping facilitate some of this. I know that's been a question in the past. Does anyone have any questions currently around the research forum? *7 to unmute yourself. As you do that, these are some of the objectives for the research forum to really highlight some of the activities that are happening that are cross-disciplinary, across research areas. Also, just to get information out there to members of our community, but also folks who are serving our community, and to just build a network of folks who are doing this work from around the country and around the world. Some of the topics that will be discussed, looking at kind of basic epi information around the U.S. Latinos, as well as looking at the various social determinants and structural determinants of health. We'll be looking at access to care, prevention, as well as looking at kind of the strength in our community and how we can use that as a source of providing our programs around the country. I think I have a couple questions in the chat. Actually, just comments. Anyone have any questions in particular regarding this research forum? *7 to unmute yourself.
Hi, Francisco. It's Meredith.
Hey, Meredith. How you doing?
Good. How are you? I just wanted to comment regarding the forum for the Embajadores. We are asking you that you do register. I know originally we had said do not register for the forum. We would register you, but we're actually asking. So there's only about 8 of you left that have not registered, so please just make sure to go ahead and register yourself. The registration closes tomorrow.
All right, thank you. Do you know how many slots we have open so far?
I do not. It's very close, but I know we have a little leeway to go over.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Meredith, regarding the research forum.
Yeah, this is Marcelo from New York. There is a media training on Sunday from 10 to 12 that we're supposed to attend, too.
Right. We've spoken with you, I think, in email, correct? Regarding that. So you're set. So we could chat offline about that. Any other questions or comments? *7 to unmute yourself. Okay. So the next activity that is going to be very exciting is the networking zone that will be in the Global Village. And so we've called it the Latino Caribbean Diaspora Collaborative. And as you see, our theme is Bridges Between Neighbors, Puentes entre Vecinos. And so I wanted to make sure folks who will be attending the conference and those who will just be in the city, because again, the Global Village, for those who don't know, it will be free, and so anyone is able to go into the Global Village and take part in the various activities, as well as go to check out some of the booths. And so we will have a very prominent space in the Global Village, and so I just want to make sure folks are aware of that. It might be hard to see on your screen, but we will be right here, located in the Global Village. So make sure you check us out. We're actually really essentially located. This is right here is where the main stage will be, and so make sure you check out those activities. And for those of you like myself, this is where the cafe will be, so I might be there as well. So make sure you check us out. It would be great to see everyone there. There'll be various activities throughout the day. The space has been a collaboration with folks in the U.S., but also folks throughout the region, in the Caribbean, Central America, South America, Mexico, and it's space to identify activities and great programs that are happening across the region. And again, the theme, as I mentioned before, is Bridges Between Neighbors. And just to give you an idea of some of the participants and organizing members of the collaborative, as you see, we have folks in the Caribbean, Central America, Mexico, as well as South America and the United States. And so it's going to be a very interactive, very engaging activities that will be highlighting some of the science-based research, some of the biomedical research, but also some of just kind of the community-based activities and social and cultural elements that we have in our communities. One of the activities that I wanted to highlight, we will be having some of the past and the current Miss Universe be joining us on Monday, July 23rd from 6 to 7, so it's a great opportunity to hear what they're doing. Many of the winners of the Miss Universe pageant have been very active and vocal around HIV. And so we'll be having some of those ladies join us on Monday. So make sure to check us out in that space. On Tuesday, we'll be having Pedro, who is the radio jockey for El Sol 107.9 or 99.F, which is the CBS affiliate radio station. And so make sure you come and meet him and check him out. He's a very strong supporter of the Latino community, particularly Latino gay men and HIV, so he's been very active and vocal on the radio as well as in the community. So he'll be joining us on Tuesday from 1 to 1:30. Also, we'll be featuring, and as I mentioned before, will be various activities. There will be presentations, but also we'll have video and documentaries. And so this is one that's going to be focusing on Transgender Latina Coalition, a short story, a documentary around silicone injection around trans women. And so it's going to be a great session. Make sure you check this out as well. And this is going to be on Thursday, July 26th from 6 to 6:45. We also currently have a call for posters. So if you have been accepted for a poster presentation at the International AIDS Conference, make sure you want to show your poster. Usually you get 1 day for your display at the official conference. We will have a space in our Global Village Networking Zone to feature posters. And so if your poster was accepted and you want to showcase it on another day, in addition to the day you've officially been accepted to present, make sure you contact Diana Brown. Her email is located on the PowerPoint slide. Provide her this information: author's full name, poster title, brief abstract, and the author's email address. In addition, if you haven't been accepted for the International AIDS Conference, but you've been accepted for another national conference, for example, the USCA, so the United States Conference on AIDS, or the National Prevention Conference, or the American Public Health Association, any other national conferences that you've been accepted, make sure you can also to inform Diana, because you could also feature your poster in our space. So it does not have to be a AIDS 2012 accepted poster, but it does have to be a poster that was formally accepted in a different conference. And so let me see. I have some questions here on the chat. The first question is, where is the location of the film? So I believe you're referencing the film around the transgender short documentary around silicone injection. That will be featured in the networking zone again, where I highlighted before. Let me just show you again for the record. It will be featured in the networking zone in this space right here. So in here there will be a little screening area for our videos. So everything that I mentioned will be taking place in this space. I have another question. Will these slides be sent? Yes, everyone will be receiving the slide set upon the completion of this webinar. Another question I have on the chat regarding the poster. So yes, again, as I mentioned, you could bring another poster that may or may not have been accepted to the International AIDS Conference. It does have to have been accepted for another conference. So again, if you presented a poster and got accepted as a poster for another conference, such as USCA or a prevention conference, you can feature your poster in this Global Village Zone. So contact Diana Brown. She's coordinating that. Because of space, we will have a schedule as well. So it won't be up all week, but we'll try to figure out a space and time for your poster to be displayed. Are there any other questions in particular around the networking zone, the LCDC, or around the poster? *7 to unmute yourself. There's a question in the chat. Do we need to register for all these events? So the main conference, there is a registration for the Global Village space. So all these activities that I'm mentioning, that's with the Latino Caribbean Diaspora Collaborative, the movie, the Miss Universe, the radio disc jockey, those are all free because they will be in the Global Village. So you do not need to register for the Global Village activities. You just show up on the days that those activities are taking place, and everything in the Global Village will be free. Any other questions? *7. Great. So I did want to mention tomorrow we'll be posting two different guidebooks. So there will be a pocket guidebook for all the activities in the Global Village. So some of the activities that are highlighted today, in addition to many others, will be available online. So you could, before the conference, you could peruse that and check it out and see which sessions you want to go to in the Global Village. Again, that's the one on the left-hand side, and all those activities on the left-hand side will be free because they will all be taking place in the Global Village. The guidebook that we're developing on the right-hand side will be sessions that we highlighted in the main conference. So these sessions we felt were very of particular interest for Latino community members, and so we developed a roadmap of those who will be attending the main conference, and that guidebook, Nuestra, Guía, which will be available both in English and in Spanish, will be highlighting all the main conference sessions and workshops. In addition to the main conference sessions and workshops, there will also be several other activities that will be happening around the city. So make sure you check that out. It will be available on our website tomorrow. And so, again, there will be two guidebooks. The first one on your screen will be for the Global Village, which includes all free activities. And the second guidebook on the right-hand side will be particularly focusing on the main conference session activities and workshops. So all those who will be attending the main conference, the guidebook on the right will be a tool for you, both available in English and Spanish, to see what sessions that are highlighting activities that are happening in the U.S. that may have a particular interest for Latino community members, as well as activities that are happening in Latin America and the Caribbean that may also be of interest for folks who are U.S.-based Latinos. And again, as I mentioned, we'll highlight the main conference activities, provide a listing of local CBO organizations, as well as be available in English and Spanish. We'll be sharing this online, as I mentioned, tomorrow, but also we'll be having hard copies at the Latino Research Forum that I mentioned that is taking place on Sunday, July 22nd, as well as in the networking zone, we'll have copies available. *7 to unmute. I'm seeing a few questions. Let me backtrack on the chat here. Are any questions? *7 to unmute yourself. And I think someone tried going on the blog site. I believe they're working on it right now. So the blog site that I referenced earlier might be offline right now because I know the team is working on it. But we'll be sending out a communication when it's back up. But so stay tuned. I think that was one of the questions or comments on the chat. Any other questions or comments? All right. I'm going to go move on. There's a couple activities that I wanted to mention. There'll be an AIDS in America reception that is happening on Monday, July 23rd. Will be kind of, the premier reception where all the main all the main HIV/AIDS organizations will be at. There will be members of Congress present at this reception. We're also inviting key federal partners. And so if you're interested in joining this reception, I'm not sure if it's still open, but I would suggest folks, if you haven't already, email rzp@nasda.org to get your name on the list. It is a space-limited location, so it might be closed, but I would suggest folks, if you haven't already, check it out and see if there's still space. It would be a key place to network, bring business cards, and get ready to shake a lot of hands. And so another reception that is happening that I know is still available, so if you didn't make it for the first one, and or you want to join us for this other one, this is a reception that NLAAN is hosting and has recently partnered with the Black AIDS Institute to help host this reception. Una Noche of Unified Action. It will be a network reception on Tuesday from 7 to 9. Law Society, which is on the corner of 14th Street and U Street Northwest. To RSVP for this, you must go to, again, the website nlan.org/8/2012, and there's a link there for the reception. It is filling up quickly. There is a space limitation as well, so if you're interested, make sure to RSVP for this reception. Again, it will be a Tuesday night from 7 to 9. It will be tapas and open bar. So for folks who are interested to get some of that, get tapas, make sure you join us. Any questions regarding these two receptions? *7. Both these receptions are free, and you do not need to be officially registered for the conference. That's a question that came through the chat. So just make sure you do have to RSVP. So you don't need to be a conference delegate officially registered for the conference, but you do need to RSVP for these receptions separately. So make sure you do that. But also for those who like Juanes, that he will be in town. He will be in town on Thursday doing a show at the Warner Theater. This is related to the conference, but it is separate and it has a separate price tag. So if you're interested, make sure you go to Ticketmaster. And this is, again, connected to the International AIDS Conference, but it is a separate event. I'm not sure how much tickets are running, but make sure you check it out at Ticketmaster.com. But I think it's great. Traditionally, LifeBeat has hosted venues and activities with other key stars such as Alicia Keys, Mary J. Blige, etc. So it's great to see that we have a Latino artist who will be featured at this event. So make sure if you're around, if you're interested and want to get away from the conference, check out Juanes at Ticketmaster.com. So as I wrap up, are there any questions? *7 to unmute.
Francisco, this is Alicia. I just said if you could just quickly say what the RSVP is again for the AIDS in America event.
Yes, the RSVP for the AIDS in America event is rsvp@nasda.org.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, question, comment? Is there a question on the line? All right, I will mute you. The power of muting. Any other questions? *7 to unmute yourself. All right, I'm going to check the chat feature if there's any last-minute questions, comments. Again, there will be other activities taking place in the Global Village. so I did not highlight all of them. There will be activities. The Global Village will be open. Again, this is what we call the Latino Caribbean Diaspora Collaborative. The Global Village Networking Zone will be open every day from 8:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. So it will be open all day, and every hour of the hour there will be, every minute of the hour there will be an activity happening in that networking space. And so make sure you check out again the guidebook that will be developed to see what activities are happening, because if there's be things happening all day, every day, there'll be things happening in the evening, every night. And so I feature three evening events, the 2 receptions and the Juanes concert, but there are hundreds of other activities that are happening. I have a question in the chat. So the reception that I mentioned that's taking place on Tuesday, in the past we mentioned that it would be a Cuba Libre restaurant. I just want to make sure that folks know the location was changed, and so now it is at Law Society. So it's the same event that was featured or discussed previously on our webinars, and so this is the same reception. It's just the location has changed. So it's the same date, same time, but it will be at Law Society. Any other questions or comments?
Hi, this is Elizabeth Fernandez, and I'm just wondering, Vocal New York and Westchester are going to be out there doing, I believe it's an outreach for World End AIDS. Is that going to be held at the Global Village as well, or no?
Are you talking about the march?
Yes.
So I don't have that information. I know there's a march. Is that the one that's taking place on Monday?
On the 24th.
So that's Tuesday. Mm-hmm. I don't have the exact information for that march. I do believe they're going to be meeting in the Global Village and then marching to the mall.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. What is it called again? I'm sorry.
End AIDS.
Okay. I'm trying to see if I could find it online right now, but I've seen there's been 1,000 things happening that haven't gone through the chat features. I'm looking at it now. It is happening on that Tuesday, July 24th, but I don't see where it's going to kick off.
Okay, because I'm looking at that email also. I just went there, and it doesn't say yet. Okay.
It doesn't say. It doesn't. I don't have the information in terms of where it's going to kick off.
Okay, thank you. I guess I'll do some research before I go here.
Right. I'm sure there'll be signs and handouts and all that kind of stuff when you're there.
Okay.
And everyone's going to see that there'll be little flyers for every single event happening, and so I'm sure they'll be circulating flyers for this activity as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions or comments? Star 7 to unmute yourself. All right, so I'm going to end this webinar. For folks who have specific questions regarding the volunteer program that you may be involved with or the Embajadores program, please feel free to email me at fruiz@nasdad.org, and then I'll answer your individual questions. So again, email me if you have particular questions regarding the Embajadores program or the volunteer program, fruiz@nasdad.org. All right, everyone, thank you and have a great day, and hope to see most of you here in D.C.